here, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you saw from the title, I am bringing you my contouring and highlighting routine, like a how to kind of, so to speak. I filmed this a couple of days ago and I did like a do's and don'ts, but for whatever reason I didn't really like the way the video came out, so I am just going to show you how I highlight and how I contour, and just a few tips, you know, just in case you mess up or whatever the case might be. So yeah, we can go ahead and hop right into this video after you've subscribed to my channel and click that notification bell. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Alright, so my base makeup is already done. I have my foundation on, eyeshadow on, all of the stuff, brows done. I did do an in-depth brow tutorial, so if you want to see that, it'll be like somewhere in here, somewhere on the screen, whatever. So yeah, I made it easy because since this is just, you know, like my how-to highlighting and contouring, I figured we just go ahead and hop right into it. You don't need to see my same old way that I put foundation on and all this, that, and the third. So yeah, let's get started. Let me tell you, I almost messed up because when I was doing some spot concealing, I almost hit underneath my eye and I was like, wait, I can't do that yet. So my first step when it comes to highlighting and contouring is first, since I do have like slightly dark circles under here, I color correct my dark circles. So I use the ColourPop Dark 42 and I just put a little bit underneath my eye, and then I just blend that out with my beauty blender. But I do it really, really lightly so that way it doesn't like blend too much and go away. So when it comes to highlighting, as you know, highlighting adds color and brightness to the face, and contouring kind of adds shadow and depth, dimension to the face. So I start out with highlighting. I lately have been using, as y'all know, my ColourPop, because this concealer is bomb. So my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is the shade Medium Dark 32. So I just do some lines down my face, and then I do the bridge of my nose, forehead, and I do a little bit up here, my upper lip, and then my chin. So I like to let my concealer sit for a little bit because as it sits, it kind of dries down just a little bit. You don't want it to dry too much because then you won't be able to move it and blend it. So I just let it sit for a little bit, basically while I'm applying my cream contour, and that'll give me more coverage. So yeah. For cream contouring today, I am going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick in R530. Where is the brush that I use? So when you're applying your contour, you don't want it to be like too high, but you don't want it to be like down here. So what I like to do, since I didn't explain it on this side, I'm going to explain it on this side. I'm going to just put some on my brush, and then kind of like right above this part of your ear, I don't know what it's called, but the little flappy part of your ear, like right above that, I just take it and flick it. Like underneath. Basically you're going to be like this. Underneath your cheekbone. You don't have to drag it down that far, but I just did. So and then I just do, if you have an oversized forehead, if you have a large brain, Then I do my forehead as well. You don't always have to contour, depending on the size of your head, your forehead, or whatever. I know people are gonna have jokes because I get jokes about my head and my forehead all the time. So if you don't have a super dome like I do, then you don't really need to contour your forehead, but you know. Contour my forehead, and then I just do a little bit along my jawline, right down here. Just a little. Right there. And then right there. Yep. So then I blend away, not away, but I blend out my contour first. So this is just a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. So I just use this, and then I just lightly blend it. I use upward strokes on my chin. Well, on my chin and my cheek, I use upward strokes. So just to blend. And see how I had like gone like a little bit too high right here, but it's gone, you know? You blend it away. And I did the same thing over here, so I'll show you. You just bring it down. So instead of like brushing in an upward motion, you just kind of swipe it down. Not swipe, but you know, like just. But instead of going up like this, I'm going like this. Short strokes, yeah. So short strokes like that. And then for my forehead, I blend it back like towards my hairline. If I didn't have this on to protect my edges, you would see, but you know, these edges gotta be protected at all times. So. And then for this part, you can either take a damp beauty blender or an angle brush. I prefer to use an angle brush. The longer I let it sit, I might have to use a damp beauty blender, but usually just using this. I like the angle because since I already did my eyeshadow, this helps me like stay precise. So I'm just gonna blend this down, but down my nose, I do use my beauty blender. So we're just gonna brush that. It just helps me to get exactly where I need to be. And then when you're blending it, you're gonna blend your highlight into your contour, but just like where they meet, you're just gonna blend that. And then I'm gonna show you a little trick to kind of, so that way it's not like dark and light, you know, it kind of blends together. So what I do is I take whatever I use for foundation that day. Today is my beauty blender, so I just take the end of it, since it still has a foundation on it, and blend it together like that, so that way there's like really like, you know, no harsh line. And then I'm gonna go down my nose. And I already did that. So just gonna take my brush and do the same thing, blending it down towards my contour and up the side of my nose just a little bit. You don't want to, you still want to have like a line right there, so, because that'll help you with contouring your nose as well. It kind of creates like a natural contour, so therefore if you don't want to add powder down your nose, you don't have to. I don't cream contour down my nose. I only use powder because I just feel like cream contouring just makes it too harsh down my nose, and I don't want that. So yeah, I'm just gonna blend this down towards the contour. And then the same thing I did on the forehead as far as blending, I'm going to do the same thing down here. So there, it blends seamlessly and it's like no harsh lines. I do like to take a little bit of whatever's on here and just kind of chisel out down here. That adds just for more coverage and just a little more dimension. So I'm just going to be using my Sacha Buttercup mixed with my Maybelline Master Fix loose setting powder. So this is like white, and it has like a little shiny reflex in it. So I don't want to use anything that's like stark white, but I also don't want to use anything that's too yellow. So the Sacha Buttercup is just a little bit too yellow for my skin tone. So it doesn't help to really brighten it. So if you're like a darker skin tone, then the Sacha Buttercup will be perfect. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it and pop it under my eye and down my nose. When I'm doing it, I squeeze my beauty blender so that way it's more precise, especially down the side of my nose. And don't forget, I always forget right here, but don't forget this, because that is like that's really like one of the first few places where I get really oily, and my makeup is like always gone from right here first. It's crazy. So don't forget the little nose crease. And if you go too high up the side of your nose, it's okay, because we're gonna fix it. So don't worry. Cause like I went a little bit too high up the side of my nose, but when you go to contour your nose, you'll fix it. You're just gonna set everywhere you just put the light concealer. Everywhere you highlight it is where you're going to set now. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't think I did, but when you highlight, you only want to use a concealer that's maybe a shade lighter than you. 2 shades, maybe, but that's kind of pushing it. I would say 2 shades max, but no less than like a shade lighter. And then when you're contouring, you want to go maybe a half a shade to a shade darker. Not too dark, because then you'll wind up looking like this. To set my contour, I'm going to use, as you all know, I love this stuff, my LA Girl Pro Face High Definition Matte Press Powder. This is in the color Warm Caramel. And I'm just going to take that on my Morphe maybe not. So I'm just going to take that on my Morphe M530 brush. I'm just going to dip it in there, tap off the excess, and then in a circular motion back towards your hairline, you're just going to set it. Set it here. Alright, so now how I contour my nose is I take, this is my favorite brush to use to contour my nose. I got it from BH Cosmetics. It doesn't have a name or number or anything on it, but that's where I got it from. And I just take a little bit of it, a little bit of the same powder on this brush, tap off a little bit, and then I start right here and just ever so gently just go straight down my nose. And of course, same thing on the other side, starting right here. And just go down the side of your nose. Say you feel like, oh, it's a little bit too harsh. Your nose is just a little bit too chiseled. What I do is I take both of my ring fingers and then I just press it to blend it just a little bit more. I kind of do like this. And I just blend it a little bit more. And you're good. So To ensure that there is no flashback or anything from where we baked, I am going to take this AOA Studio F25 brush and my LA Girl in True Bronze, and I'm just going to take that on there and then just wipe away the excess powder. So to ensure, what I was saying, to ensure that there's no flashback, is just take a powder that's basically a face powder that's basically your shade, and then just wipe your extra powder away. And we'll do the same thing. And that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my eyes and pop on some lashes, and then I'll be right back to close out the video. Alright, so I finished up my eye makeup and my lipstick, but I realized that I didn't show y'all how to highlight the high points of the cheekbone, and that is very, very, very important. So I'm going to use a mixture of two highlighters today. I'm going to use my highlighter from my Best Year Ever palette by Too Faced. Start with that one, and I am going to take my Morphe M403 brush and just dip it in there, and then just right kind of above where I applied my blush, just like on the high point of my cheekbone, I'm just going to use that. I like to use this brush because it gives me a more natural highlight, but we're gonna make it pop a little bit by using a different one on top. So I'm just gonna apply that, the high points, and I also like to do over like the tail part of my brow, and just blend that down into my blush. And then I also like to do the bridge of my nose, so I just take a smaller brush. I don't know, this is a Miss Glam L36, and I just go down the bridge of my nose with this, and then I do the button part. And then I do my Cupid's bow. That's basically it. I just don't do too much above my Cupid's bow because I don't want it to look like crazy, you know. So I think I am going to be a teeny bit extra today, just a little bit. And I'm going to take my Boomin' highlight from the ColourPop Shayla collab, and if I can open it, okay. On that same brush, just when I tell you you know what, I'm just going to take the little bit that I have in the cap, because this stuff is so pigmented, and then I'm just going to go over top of that other highlight. And I mean, this is showing up like so bright on camera, but I promise you in person, it really is not that bright. So if you ever feel that you went overboard with anything, your highlight, your blush, just whatever, just take a face powder brush, and just go over it with your face powder brush, and that'll dull it down a little bit. See the difference between this and this? So yeah, and you don't have to put anything on the brush either. Just take the brush and go over it. That's it. You hear my Beethoven in the background? Yeah. Alright, so this is the finished look of my highlighting and contouring routine. I hope you did learn something, and let me know what it is that you want to see next. And with that being said, you sit here and watch the next video, and I'm just going to sip on my water. Bye.